How are we all doing? Nick from NK Sports Podiatry here. I've had a request from a colleague about orthoses or insole prescription for plantar heel pain, specifically plantar fasciitis. So, now what actually this is going to be is based on the work done many years ago by an American orthotist called Keys Gogler. And what he was actually saying, if we actually pronate, i.e. roll in the front of the foot, we can help reduce the loading through the plantar fascia. And my take on why this happens is because if we look at the foot here, we have big toe, middle of the front of the foot, middle of the foot, and heel. And the plantar fascia runs under the heel calcaneum to the base of the first metatarsal big toe joint region here. And we have this thing called a windlass mechanism. Now what the windlass mechanism is, big toe bends up, plantar fascia tightens, arch rises, everything stiffens up, and it allows you to push off nicely. So my thought process and understanding is that if we can roll the front of the foot in slightly, we can preload that plantar fascia by getting that windlass mechanism work slightly earlier, so it hasn't got to work as hard. So how do we do that from an insole perspective? Well, here's one I sort of prepared earlier. So this is just sort of 3 degree, or you can use 5 degree. EVA is just basically extremely high density foam. Double-sided tape, plonk it on the front of the insole. I personally like going all the way to toes, just because if anything ends here, it may run the risk of aggravation, but you've got to make sure you can fit this in the shoe. So something like a quarter shoe, you may have to end it here. Now remember, this is a 4-foot post. A 4-foot post is not in the middle here, it is at the front going along here, because I just tend to find that's what patients find most comfortable. So this is, as we can see here, just a lateral 4-foot post. The other thing to consider is making sure that you choose the right material for the patient's weight and the shoe that it's going into. So these orthotics fit into trainers very nicely, however they will wear out, and if you're an extremely heavy person you will just bottom out quite quickly, but can do a job quite nicely whilst you're going through your rehabilitation program. Other things you may want to look at doing is adding a heel raise just to help offload the calf muscles. You may want to add a first metatarsal cutout, and then obviously combine it with your other therapies as exercises, shockwave, and etc. So that's something you may want to try by adding a lateral 4-foot post to your orthoses. What you can actually try and do is try taping it beforehand. So I will tape people with zinc oxide in a low dye fashion beforehand by pronating that 4-foot, and if they find that really helpful, most of the time they do, then actually I tend to know that actually this is going to be quite beneficial for them, and we just need to decide whether it's a short-term or a long-term device, but that depends purely on the patient and the circumstances. So yeah, so that's lateral 4-foot posting for plantar fasciitis. Any other questions or queries, please let me know, and we shall see you all soon. Bye now.